Hi, my name is Olivia Lenz, and today I'm going to tell you about a project that I recently made called Metropolis. Metropolis is this idea of the city. So it's like what makes a city. And so I was really inspired by this kind of old movie called Metropolis that had this really great sort of gothic retro architecture. The way I start any project is the brainstorming process. I carry a sketchbook everywhere. I'm always pulling images from the internet, and I love to just sort of be inspired by anything that I see. And so I start by searching the internet usually. For this project, I was looking for different color trends and texture trends for winter-fall 2012. Is a draped project. I'm using a dress form, and the first thing you want to do is always mark out where you want all the seam lines on your dress form. Here I'm showing an example of putting the bust line tape on, and it's going to be the center seam that runs across the bust. I'm also using the princess seams, and I've marked out where I'd like the bodice to sort of slope down to a point at the center front. When you want to make your mock-up, usually using a cotton muslin, or if your fabric's kind of an unusual drape, you're going to want to use a similar material to that. It's really important to use a material that is similar to the drape of your final fashion fabric, or else you're going to get a mistake like I did later on in this project. So we all know how to cut out a pattern on a piece of fabric, so I'm not going to bore you with images of that. But to sort of move this along, I cut out all the fabric, put it together, and made this beginning of the dress. I put in this awesome exposed metal zipper, and I was really excited about it because it was kind of bringing in some more textures and other colors and more shininess to my dress. But when I put it on, I got this awful weird bubble on the back of my dress. My dress form looked like it had a lump on its behind. And so I couldn't figure out what was wrong. So I ripped out the zipper, I put in a different one, and as I was ripping it out, I was looking at how my dress was hanging in dress form, and it looks like I messed up in my drape. I used a cotton that was too heavy and held its structure too well compared to my final fashion fabric, which is a crinkle polyester that's really lightweight and has a really soft drape. So because of that, my fabric is pulling a little funny on my dress form, so I'm going to try to combat it with using a different zipper and with also kind of altering the way that I put the zipper in. It's not going to be what I originally planned, but I think it'll work out. If you looked at the sketch, you saw that there was this kind of peplum skirt on the sketch, which for me was going to be made out of these clear vinyl pieces that are rimmed in the silver basic dress fabric. And these are kind of to symbolize the windows of the architecture. So I thought I was going to put those around the waist. However, once I got it on the dress form, it looked awful. It looked so tacky and sort of like costumey, and I just didn't want my dress to have that feel. So it was back to the drawing board. So I went back to the drawing board. I took my pieces, I really wanted to use them, and so I sort of laid them out in different places on the dress form, and I was able to determine that it would look kind of cool if I put it up here on the shoulder. I took my regular silver colored crinkle polyester material and I wiped it with an India black ink. Unfortunately, if this dress gets wet, the ink will start to run, but as long as it's kept dry, it should look as fantastic as it does now. It's a pretty sort of rough looking, but I think it gives a lot of depth and texture to the material and just sort of makes it unique and different.